Look at it. Bandits can go around in motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
But have we not been talking about Nnamdi Kanu for a while? So you can see the kind of country. All want a country that forgets the past. Let's forgive them. Let's forgive them. Let's see the kind of country we are going to build. But Nnamdi Kanu, no, he must suffer. He must suffer. So let's continue with the hypocrisy.
Rufai Oseni, God will surely bless you, because what is currently happening in this country is alarming. Watch this video.
Cut short. And this sort of insecurity is what we are seeing. We're seeing it in different states. I've just talked about the peace deal pact in Katsina State. Now we are seeing this story from Abia State. We have a picture of a young man also who's going to be buried, I believe, this weekend. Really sad situation.
You see, Oji, I want a sane country. I don't want a hypocritical country. And that's why yesterday I challenged President Tinubu on the show. And if he wants to do more pardon, I can give him some names. Shekau is one of them. Lawrence Anini is another one. And we can also put in the names of top criminals that destroy people, because we want a society that is not vindictive. If in the case of the person pardoned, I repeat, if they are not high up there that they can even have access to the president, will that pardon happen? We're talking about a society that calls for fairness. And that's exactly what's happening in the north. Look at it. Bandits can go around in motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
But have we not been talking about Nnamdi Kanu for a while? So you can see the kind of country. All of this is not an offense. Just let some other people take guns and move on the street. Look at that one, wearing military camo. In the end, we say they should forgive them, isn't it? Because we want a society.
Peace pact.
Oh, it's a peace pact.
Yes,
look at guns.
Happened on Sunday.
Look at non-state actors wearing military fatigue and carrying guns. In the end, don't we want a country that forgets the past? Let's forgive them. Let's forgive them. Let's see the kind of country we are going to build. But Nnamdi Kanu, no, he must suffer. He must suffer. So let's continue with the hypocrisy. You can see the killings in Abia. All those that kill people in this gory, let's leave them and let them be. Let's forgive them. Because we want to build a country of hypocrisy. See, let me tell you something, Oji. A nation that values privileges over purpose will lose the privilege and we lose the purpose. Nigeria is a country that has valued privilege over purpose. We have lost the purpose, we have lost the privilege.
All right, Rufai.
Let's be careful.
Again, I thought it was important to highlight that story from Abia State. Like I said, I reached out to the Abia State Police Command. I'll also reach out to the
Daily Trust was reporting live bullets, live rounds being fired. Is this how to go? The same people that shut this country down for 2 weeks, Jonathan did not go after them like this. A lot of the people that protested Occupy Nigeria morphed into what is the APC today. We saw how they had a series of protests then. Were these not the same people that protested and put Jonathan's head and call him all sorts of names, Jonathan Haram and everything? Did they stifle their voices this way? So this high-handedness we practice in the name of democracy will not get anywhere.
Let's begin what's trending. As today marks the 5th anniversary of the NSAS protests and the tragic Lekki killings of October 20, 2020, we pay tribute to victims of SARS and honor the legacy of a movement that captured global attention. The NSAS protests brought together millions of young Nigerians demanding an end to police brutality and government accountability. The Sorosoke and Coconut Head generation took to the streets in peaceful demonstrations that culminated in the tragic events at Lekki Toll Gate, where protesters were shot at by security forces. Let's bring you a recap.
Our top story at this hour is our central story that is still developing and unfolding tonight. Sounds of gunfire have exploded on the streets in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, as troops open fire on protesters there. There are reports of people killed and wounded as the Nigerian authorities move to end increasingly violent protests against police abuses. Riot police have been deployed across the country and a curfew has come into force in several states. We have special coverage tonight as Nigeria witnesses a major escalation after 2 weeks of protests against police brutality. But still, the protesters have remained on the streets.
at over there. Look at Lagos is on fire. They're blocked everywhere.
Despite video and pictorial evidence, the Nigerian army has denied opening fire and killing peaceful NSAS protesters at the Lekki toll gate in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos.
Because it's a democracy, people can protest. But in a democracy, when people protest and you stifle their voice and you kill them, it makes us get sad and even question if we're practicing democracy. And you see, I'm particularly miffed by the way they've started to stifle protests. Just this morning, what happened? When went out with people to protest, and the next thing, tear gas. Daily Trust was reporting live bullets, live rounds being fired. Is this how to go? The same people that shut this country down for 2 weeks, Jonathan did not go after them like this. A lot of the people that protested Occupy Nigeria morphed into what is the APC today. We saw how they had a series of protests then. Were these not the same people that protested and put Jonathan's head and call him all sorts of names, Jonathan Haram and everything? Did they stifle their voices this way? So this high-handedness we practice in the name of democracy will not get anywhere. You remember the first anniversary after NSAS, that Femi had to stand tall with the police officer. People were tear gas. Mr. Macaroni was packed up in a bus. People must have a right to protest. What are they protesting for? Nnamdi Kanu. People have talked about a political solution all this way. Because while you talk about Nnamdi Kanu and what he did is unfair, you are also seeing a lot of heinous crimes being perpetrated by bandits, and they're having peace meetings. But in this country, some people have more power over the others. Like I've repeated, I have not said everything Nnamdi Kanu did was good. I disagree with some of most part of his advocacy. But what you cannot deny Nnamdi Kanu, are people not being marginalized in this country? Are people not being killed in this country? So as long as that is happening and you don't have a level of fairness, then you're saying people should not talk? So I keep asking, which kind of democracy do we even practice? When it suits them, they talk. When it doesn't suit them, they go the other way. So please, people should be allowed to protest. Police should be there to protect them. I remember the famous protest when Chuba Okadigbo and Buhari went to protest in Kanu, that they refunded them. That was where Femi Falana went to court and he got that judgment. You shouldn't stifle protest. But what do we see? We see always attempt to stifle protest. What was the need going the way of tear gas canisters and the likes? What was the need? And you see, in any democracy, there must be protest. That's why the Americans are speaking up.
Yes, speaking about...
No kings.
Yes.
And we must not have kings in this country. They say they should not go around the people's house. It's the presidential villa, not the people's house. No, in other parts of the world, don't people go to the White House and the president will even take them on tours?
Right.
Attacks by the Nigerian police. So I haven't done anything else than just protest. And we also ended up at the FCT command of Nigeria Police to get some of the lawyers, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's main lawyer was arrested, and lawyer Jima, because his younger brother was arrested, and 11 others. We went to see them, and they gave us a false hope that they'll be released tonight. But we found out on our way here that they'll be moved to the place they call Abattoir, which is one of the reasons why there was NSAS in 2020. It's a major torture chamber of the Nigeria police. So they also tear gassed us right in front of their office this evening.
So more than 7 years in detention, almost a decade in fact, and he's still not been found guilty of any crime. And your contention is that in line with the Nigerian constitution, which says that a man is innocent until proven guilty and which calls for the speedy dispensation of justice, it's time to set this captive free. Is that a fair assessment and the reason you led today's protest?
Yes, it is because also the Court of Appeal in 2022 did take a decision, a decisive decision, that having been extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya, kidnapped is the other word for it, there are no charges that can hold in that court, and he was asked to be released. That judgment ought to have taken effect immediately was given, but the Nigerian government did not honor that judgment. They claimed they were going on appeal. An appeal does not constitute a stay when personal liberty is involved. He's been discharged. there's nothing that could have held them except to get the brand new detention order, which they didn't, because they were not interested in any trial. They were interested in subduing and subjugating Nnamdi Kanu for committing a crime against the real estate called Nigeria, which is to say, look, we may want to think about our own country, considering that this country have no respect for our dignity, our culture, and our safety. So I have laid this out before, and I have also looked at the case notes. I worked with the lawyers. I am in a position to tell you when I see a useless case, because I get charged severally for this kind of frivolous cases. Nnamdi Kanu is not being held for committing terrorism. No, he's being held because he is an Igbo man who wants Nigeria to either allow justice to the Igbo man or let the Igbo man be. That is the crime Nnamdi Kanu committed. It is a crime committed with a microphone, not an AK-47.
Right.
As a pioneer member of Nigerian Youth Parliament and a youth and from an eastern region, I am here to say that the federal government should please not listen to our leaders, because it is our leaders in the southeast, those in the National Assembly, those as ministers that are holding down Nnamdi Kanu, not Tinubu. Tinubu has once said that he wants to release this man, but it is the Southeast leaders. So this protest is not against the government, it's against the Southeast leaders. And we are calling on Tinubu as a father who knows what to do to help us release Nnamdi Kanu and not listen to our leaders. I am betting him that if he releases Nnamdi Kanu today, all those people that say he should not listen will first go and pay homage to him. He should not look at them. He should release Nnamdi Kanu for us. Please, we are begging him. We are not protesting against the government. We are only protesting against the Southeast leaders who have held him down for years. So this is what we have said. And for the military.
Just now, while the shooting was going on, I mean, a young man across me just now flinched as soon as those guns started going away, and it's just something that evokes such a very heartbreaking memory, and that Nigeria could do this to its young ones. But just to say something earlier on, when you said that the protest died down, the protest didn't die down, it was killed off. I mean, guns were brought in. You saw military officers who ordinarily should be protecting Nigerians and the territorial integrity of Nigeria decided to turn their guns on citizens, Nigerian youth who were merely, reciting the national anthem and also waving the Nigerian flag. So it's such a painful memory. And, like I was saying in that video, that when a policeman or a policewoman or any security agent say that they're going to kill you and get away, nothing will happen, that indeed on the 20th of October 2020, without any doubt, we came to see that, yes, indeed, they can kill Nigerians and nothing would happen. It's really so sad that Nigerian government, like I've always said, decided to behave like a terrorist government by killing its own citizen on October 20th, 2020.
And what inspired you at the outset to join in fully? I mean, was it the excitement of seeing this movement of young people on the streets, and the sense perhaps that something new and the change you had fought to see happen was taking form?
So it's quite, so the first thing I would like to say is the fact that the first EndSARS protest was not in 2020. It was actually in 2017. And I was part of that protest. I remember speaking, during that whole protest. So when the 2020 protest started, I came out the first day. And then in Abuja, I think we had that protest on the 8th. The first protest was called out on the 7th. We had gone home when this group of young people who woke up, one of them sent text to his colleagues at around 2 a.m. and then they decided to come out, and police, of course, usually being the Nigerian police, tear gassed them, and they said they were coming out. And so I joined them the mind for me was the fact that these are Nigerian youth who are coming out to protest, and the police had attacked them, and I was there to be with them, to give them that moral support and just say, look, hey, whatever the police was going to do, you needed to go through me to get at them. And even those pictures that went viral, I was literally at the back almost all throughout. They were doing their thing, they owned the protest, and they were so organized. And so it was when the police came out that they wanted to shoot them in Abuja. That was when I came to the front and I said, if you're going to shoot them, then you have to put the bullet through me. Because what did they do? In spite of the fact that Nigeria has not given them enabling environment for them to thrive, they found niches for themselves, and they're thriving, they're doing so well. And you're killing them off just because they have tattoo, you know, they have dreadlocks, or they have laptops or beautiful cars. What is a crime in that? And so for me, it wasn't about being the excitement of the moment. It was just about the Nigerian youth are being attacked by Nigerian police, and I needed to be there and ensure that they were okay.